until the final round kicks off, and this is where we will be crowning our season champion as well. Please don't fall. I'm trying to like balance this on a monster can. There we go. Happy days. But yeah, so this is going to be exciting. I'm ready to write my throat off for this. Hello, Harvey. You should come take part in DKRTR next season. Just saying. But yeah, things are going to be pretty spicy. I can see Darius really fighting for this round. His qualifying with Anestas was really good. They both got 90 plus scores. But as Anestas has won VDM yesterday, he wants to just celebrate today, so he's not fussed about taking this event. I am not driving, I am commentary for this series. So yeah, I'm having a nice bit of fun with it. This is the last commentary gig of the year for me. So it's going to be good. You left my mic on. Wow. Cheers, Edgar. Cheers for letting me know. I didn't even know we were going live. Wow. He's mugged me off here, people. Right, so I best finish on the live. I best finish on TikTok, Instagram, so I can check the YouTube comments and just see how everyone's doing. So let's get it. Join the official stream, and I'll see you on there. Right. Let me just get onto YouTube so I can see what's going on. Am I? Oh wow, yeah, no, I am actually talking. Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to the final round of DKRTR 2024. We will be kicking off in, as you can see on the bottom left, around 12 minutes 20 seconds. It's going to be good. It's going to be very good. I hope you're all happy and excited. I am. It's going to be really good, and of course, it's going to be a big day for Urta. I think big weekend for Urta, as Darius has a very high chance of winning, but we'll have to see. Nothing's written in stone, so we'll have to go from there. Let me just sort a couple of bits and bobs out. So, as you can see there on the bottom of that overlay, all of our sponsors who have allowed this to happen. They're an integral part of the series, and we love them for it, and give them our heartfelt thanks for providing the prizes and being able to give us the opportunity to do what we do. Do we have anyone? Who do we think is going to take top spot in this round? And do we have a top 3 prediction for the series itself? Who do we think is going to take third, second, and first? Let's get that discussion going. Welcome all. I wish our stream manager could get my camera onto the stream so you can see the caster. Something for next season. Ah, yes. Hello, Ander. Hope you're all doing good. Skuko and ATDT have been absolutely on it recently. So we'll have to see how well they can go into the final round. I am your host today. I am Brandon Carter. I run Frontside Racing and I am SVDS staff as well. So it is a pleasure to be here with all of you, and hope you all have a great time. And I'm and I'm absolutely honoured to be the voice of DKRTR 2024. To any of the UK, if anyone's from the UK in the chat, you'll be. I just had a Spoons, so life is good. And if any of you don't know what Spoons is Wetherspoons. It's a restaurant chain in the UK, which if you look around, there's pretty much one no matter where you go. And yeah, they're just great. It's affordable. The beer is cheap. Life is good. Like, if you're not going to Spoons, what are you doing with your life? We're going to have a proper catch-up at some point, and it's been a long time since we've actually spoke. Got a lot of stuff going on. And I've been given the opportunity to go to Poland next week for Drift Masters to accompany Ryusei Akiba and to be his partner and his second pair of eyes. So it's going to be a good time. We're moving up in the world. So as we get to 8 minutes, make sure you go and grab a snack, grab a drink, and have a good time. Get prepared, as the action will be taking place very soon. I'd hope people know me, to be honest. I mean, I'm a humble person, I'd like to say, so I don't like to big myself up too much. But thank you very much. I like to be as active as I can in the community, in this community, wherever I can be. Whether it's driving, media, commentary. You know, I was thinking of trying to get into judging at some point as well. I might have to see if I can get involved next season as a driver at some point in this series. Not too sure how, but we'll figure it out. Mind you, saying that, I was commentator for SVDS and media, and I was driving, so that was a mess to do. But we managed to make it work somehow. It was an interesting experience. Oh, let's make sure I get the fan on me. It's going to get warm in this room. Right, 6 minutes to go. Not too much longer now until the action kicks off. Welcome all to the last round of DKRTR. If you're just tuning in, we have got 5 minutes until the action kicks off. It is the top 32. And if I go and check my data sheets, I can give us a quick little run-up of what's to follow. So we will be starting with Simvort versus Nickel. Wadecar, I don't, so again, names are just going to escape me today. Then we have Jack O'Shaughnessy. I can't do my English today. What's going on? Jack O'Shaughnessy versus Matiss. We have Patrick versus Tristan. Armands versus Matiss versus Koldo Salvador. We have Gert Kuberset versus Fredrik. We have Max Jäger versus Louis. We have Karolis versus Ritums. Kevin Schwartz versus Dāvids. And then if we move over to the right-hand side of the bracket, we have Darius versus Taimar Ainson. Emilis versus Paulius. Andris Kleinsberg versus Dāvids. Let me double check this name before I say anything. Swolinski. I hope I said that one right. Julius versus George. Unfortunately, an SSU Clubless won't be there, so Sylvester Snotch will be getting a byrun. We've got Gert Polomits versus Riho. Juan Antonio versus Juan. Adrian versus Damian, and that is our top 32 for this round. God, pronunciation is not my strong suit, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Right, we are just getting now to the 2-minute marker. Right, you've got 1 minute 20 to get yourself prepared to sit down, grab a snack, grab a drink. We are getting ready to send these guys off into the first battle of the top 32 in a minute's time. And the action is going to kick off. So remember, you've got under a minute. Go grab a snack. Hello everyone and welcome to the final round of the Drift King of RTRiga 2024 DKRTR. Here we go, this is the final round, this is the decider where we get our champion and our top 3 of the season There's a lot of insane battles that have happened throughout this entire season. Thank you to everyone who has stuck by us, kept watching the streams, supporting the series and supporting the drivers, as well as our sponsors. Without all of you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. As you can see here, we do have a couple of cars coming up to the line. I'm not sure if this is our first battle. And it is. So it is Simvort leading in Nickel. Estonian versus Canadian. And as we go, the lights go green. This is the first battle of DKR24 final. Here we go. So as Sim leads in with a nice big flick into outside zone 1, doing a very nice job so far. Nickel just keeping a bit behind there, as he doesn't want to get too close from the looks of this, but as he comes around now in towards outside clip 5, doing a nice job, slowly bringing in, almost getting caught up there, but going backwards almost into Sim there, and loses his ground, but Sim doing a solid lead at the moment. And Nickel just trying to get the dive. He's trying to find the pocket. Can he get it? He's struggling. As they come across the line, he just is able to get to the door. So a bit of a sketchy first run in the chase. But Sim doing an incredible job there in the lead. Nickel's going to have to do an incredible lead. And Sim's got to make a mistake if he wants to get this battle. Welcome everyone into the chat. My boy Damian is in here, my partner in crime. Welcome to DKRTR, my friend. We boogie here. We have a good time. We party. So as you can see here, I think we just replay there just wasn't working, but we do have them back at the line now, ready to go. We're going to switch them around and send them back down the track. As you can see here, we do have Nickel now in the lead with Sim to chase. So who will take the first battle? Let's see. As Sim is now chasing in that 2 S15s, 1 RB, 1 2J. What can Nickel do in the lead as he flicks into outside zone 1, but dropping tyres and coming off of track, making contact with the wall and just flipping the car over. What is going on? First battle, we already have drama. What is going on here? And I think Sim's going to be quite relieved there. That is a very unfortunate end to that battle, as we will be having a decision here. So it's left for Sim, right for Nickel. What will our judges go for? As it will be going to Simvort, who will be moving into the top 16. Unfortunately, Nickel just not having the best performance, unfortunately. So that will be the end to his season. But either way, both drivers put it all on the line. But we will be seeing Sim into the top 16 as we get ready to send our next battle. A lot of drama for the first battle. As you can see here, we do have 2 F22s, which will be Matiss and Jack O'Shaughnessy. And I had a little chat with Jack last night after qualifying and said, don't worry too much, you've got this. But as you can see here, we send them both. I'm not sure who's in the lead and who's in the chase, but out. Thank you Edgars, as we have Jack in the lead now with Matiss chasing him. But look at Matiss right on the door of Jack as he come around, transitioning to outside click 2, coming into inner 3, doing a very nice job, but he cannot shake Matiss off. He is doing an incredible lead so far though, as they come around into outer 6 now. Big transition right on the wall there, but Matiss is not shaken. He is staying with Jack right there as they come around into the final zone now across the wall. Here we go. Look at this. Absolutely insane. What a first run. That was a very, very tidy chase there from Matiss. And Jack just doing a great lead there to open the door for Matiss to go onto. So Jack's going to have to do a nice push there. He's got to get closer if he wants to take this battle. And to everyone who's just tuning in now, welcome to the last round of DKR 2024. We are at the long wall layout of Baikoniki circuit in Riga, where it all started in round 1. And now we have Jack chasing in Matiss. So what can he do? We got the UK representing against the Latvian. So here we go. As the lights go green, we send them down the straight. Look at them, full power to the floor. as they transition initiate into out zone 1 so far. Looking very clean between the two. Jack getting the dive on there, looking very nice so far, as Matiss does a nice job in the lead as they now transition into 6. Oh, almost getting caught up there, but he manages to stay with Matiss. They transition into outer 7. This is looking very good between the two of them, but Jack just losing a bit of ground there and straightening out and almost making contact, but he keeps it going. What? How did he recover that? I thought he was going to go into him. Amazing work there between the two of them. Jack doing a great job of not fully straightening out and taking out Matiss there, with Matiss doing a great lead. So I wonder what the judges are going to think of that one, and I think our replay system is broken for the top 32, which is typical. Who do we think will get that battle? So we do have a decision. Will it be left for Jack or right for Matiss? Going into the top 16. And it is going to be going to Matiss. So unfortunately, Jack just with that mistake at the end, costing him his top 32 battle. He did a great performance. I know he was feeling a bit shaky going into that, but he did a really good job, and well done to him. But we will be seeing Matiss in the top 16 as we move on to our next battle now. Welcome all to who are tuning in via the Frontside Racing TikTok as well. Hope you're all having a good time. This is the last round of DKRTR 2024, as we have Tristan versus Patrick now. The Evo 10 versus the A90 Supra. This is going to be an interesting battle to say the least. Two very different chassis as the lights go green now. Patrick leading in Tristan. This is going to be a pretty cool battle as we get a lovely view of our semaphore, but they are in outer zone 1 now, doing a very nice solid lead so far from Patrick, but Tristan is right there, kind of trying to find the pocket, but as they transition into outer 5, Tristan is right there. He's not backing down, but look at the lead from Patrick so far, looking very smooth as Tristan is kind of going for the little jibs and drabs, trying to find the pocket as he goes for the dive now, but a bit shallow on the angle, coming across the line. Could have been a bit cleaner there from Tristan, but Patrick doing a great lead. So we're going to have to see how it is when we flip them around. And as you can see, we tried to get the replay system working then. It is mugging us off today. Something was bound to happen. We had a bit of a flawless qualifying stream, so I think the typical look that we have has finally decided to come and attack us, or the top 32. Never straight cut, is it? Never. But as you can see here, Patrick in the Evo 10 now in the chase lane, getting ready to hunt down that A90's door. What can Tristan do in the lead? Can he do a better lead? Or can Patrick do a better chase? Let's have a look as the lights go green. We send them through the chicane. With foot to the floor as they send it down the main straight with a very fast initiation. Look at the flick between these two. It was almost in sync as they transition up, but Patrick almost falling behind there, so Tristan's got a chance here if he continues this run like this, but Patrick is making sure to stay on the door as they come around to outer 6 now, doing a solid job, but kind of just struggling to gain it back, but he does a very nice job of getting back onto the door. Can he get the dive in? Yes, he can. Patrick is right there with Tristan as they come around the last wall and across the line. Oof. That is a very scary situation to be in now, as the judges will be looking both of these lead to lead, chase to chase, as Tristan goes to the wrong side of the camera. He's just going to hide behind the Evo. Can we get a little wave from Patrick? I know he tends to do that quite a lot in the Evo. I love it when he does it. It's funny. Really good battle between the two of these. And I do say, Patrick did make a mistake. There it is. There's the little the extension spam. I think it's crazy that he can do that. Assetto has really gone into a pretty cool place. But as you can see, we are using the VDC 4.0 public pack to throw these boys down the track with. as we get some more showing off. It's like a peacock spreading out his feathers. Very similar to that. The judges are deliberating, as that mistake in the chase in out of zone 2 could put it to one more time potentially. That's what I think. I'm just a commentator, so we'll have to see what the judges decide. Very interesting first battle. Third battle. God. My brain is not braining today, apparently. Oh, and we does look like we have a decision. So will it be left for Patrick or right for Tristan? Poland versus Poland. Oh, and it is going to Patrick. It was not a split. It's a split decision. It was a one more time from Armands there, but Edgars and Martins going for Patrick. So they weren't completely all together with that one. As we now have Armands Matiss versus Koldo Salvador. So we have another Latvian versus a Spanish man, if my memory serves me correctly. So here we go. PS13 against the PS13. So let's see what these boys can do, as Armands is in the lead, Koldo in the chase. Here we go, the lights go green with the ATDT. PS13 chasing in Armands Matiss there with a nice big flick initiation there, but Koldo just he's struggling there to find the pacing with Armands there, as he comes around into out of 5 now, doing a big transition, doing a very nice job in the lead, but Salvador's just really struggling to find that door. As they transition into 7, it's just looking, he's trying to regain his pacing, regain his footsteps, but he's got no answer. Armands asked the question, and then there's just no answer as he comes across the line. Koldo just really struggling there, unfortunately. And, oh, we got a oh no, we don't have our replays. I got excited then. Very unfortunate chase for Koldo there. Guarantee you that's not what he wanted to do. He's going to be really thinking about what he can do strategy-wise for his lead. And he's got to hope that Armands makes a mistake in the chase. This is not a nice position to be in as a driver. Especially when you're chasing first. You want your chase to be immaculate. As we swap them over now, we'll have Salvador chasing, leading in Matiss. This is going to be an interesting one to judge, as potentially Matiss will have his, if he's got a spotter, they will be saying that he's not got to push too hard as the lights go green. What will Armands do? But as they initiate into outside zone 1, he is right there with Salvador, making sure he doesn't push too hard, because he knows that his lead was phenomenal, and Salvador's chase was just a bit lackluster, as Salvador kind of puts the back wheels onto the curb, almost lifting the car, but doing a good job in the lead so far, pushing it to the track limits the best he can. But Matiss just doing what he can, but almost over rotating there, really. Ooh, and I think Salvador's just sealed his fate with that adjustment going into the wall, just unfortunately struggling to bring the car back, and I think that might have cost him his battle. It's very unfortunate there, but Armands just had nowhere to go. Koldo doing a great job of trying to keep it together, as we have a decision. So left for Armands, right for Koldo. Who's going to take the tops, Latvian or Spanish? And it is going to be Armands Matiss. And it is a unanimous decision, so unfortunately Koldo will be knocked out of the top 32. Very unfortunate for him. I know his teammates are going to be gutted for him. And obviously we got Andris in the chat cheering him on. Just unfortunately not having the best time. But this is a very fast and competitive track, so you've got to be on the ball. Very unfortunate there. So that is the first quarter of the top 32 done. And I think we are going to be just changing the servers so we can have the next set of drivers come through. So next we'll have Gert Kubersek versus Fredrik Blockhus. And then we have Max Jaeger versus Louis Trevino. I'm hoping I'm saying these names right. I am so bad at pronunciation. And then we have Karolis versus Ritums, and then Kevin versus Dāvids. Or David. I don't know if the S is silent. But look at that. So we have Simvort versus Matiss in the first battle of top 16, and Patrick versus Armands in the second. So this is already looking interesting between those two battles. The right side of the bracket is looking a bit savage though as well, so we'll have to see. As we await for all of our drivers to get into the server. Let's see what they can do. There's a lot of drama already. We're only like... We've only got 2 top 16 battles sorted so far. Someone's just attacked me on Coinmaster apparently. As I look at just had a little vibration from my phone there. Big shout out to fellow Coinmaster players. One big upset from the qualifying that we had yesterday was our local Moisty boy, Moist Kids, didn't get into the top 32 with a 69, and we are gutted for him. We're sending the best wishes to him, and a big thank you for all of the work he's done for the series, as well as being a sponsor. And we do have Drift Chat piloting the semaphore, our start line marshal. Another big shout out to him as well. These boys have been absolutely killing it throughout the season, doing their jobs to the best of their abilities at all times. As we have the instant replay configuration come onto the stream, as we try and fix that issue. Nice little sneak peek there. So, who do we think is going to take the top spot today? That is the question. I want to see people in the chat discussing. Oh, and we do have our server up. So, we do have our drivers getting some practice runs in. Cars are looking absolutely crazy with these liveries. Look at that. I love that minty teal colour that S15 has going on it. Some really cool liveries this season. Fortunately, we didn't get any FSR liveries going because my driver's no longer with us, unfortunately. So Team Riga has moved to a different team. Although, I could have used that livery, to be honest. Pulled it over for no reason. Oh, and we have just got the pit command in the in-game chat to all of our drivers. So our start line marshal has got our next set of drivers coming up to the line. As you can see here, we have Gert Kubersep and Fredrik Blockhus. So here we go. Once again, RB versus 2J. Here we go. I think this is Gert in the lead from my memory. Yes, it is. So we've got Fredrik in the chase. So far looking pretty tidy as Fredrik tries to find the pocket, but a very nice transition there, bumper to bumper, but coming in, almost making, I don't know if they made contact there, but as they transition into 7, this is looking very aggressive between the two of them. as they come into the last zone now. Fredrik doing a nice job, just not as close as he could be, but Gert doing a solid lead there as they come across the line and doing a lovely job. Oh, and driving into our camera, so we're going to have to go and get him checked, see if he's alright. Oh, and the replays aren't working still. We are not having a good time with these. What did I just hear? I heard something then. Was that you, Mr. Edgar? So now we have Gert chasing in Fredrik. In that toothpaste livery car. Here we go, we send them down the straight now. Gert in that RB30S15 with the 2JS15 of Fredrik in the lead. So far looking good. Oh, but just straightening out on out zone 1, giving Gert no room to maneuver as they come around into out 5 now. That was a very sketchy start between both of them. I'm not sure what happened there. But as they transition to 7, now going towards 8. This is looking very interesting in how the judges are going to look at this. But coming around the track and finishing the run nicely there. Oop, and almost taken out Gert with the 360. Not a bad finish. Just a very sketchy start to the run. Gert's car looking very nice with that awake livery on the side. And we do have a decision. Is it going to be left for Gert, right for Fredrik? Norway versus Estonia. And it is going to be going to Gert Kubasep, who did very well in VDM last night as well. So he will be moving on into the top 16. So we are going to be moving on to our next battle, which will be Max Jaeger versus Luis. So far, this is looking pretty good. So now we have Max Jaeger leading in Luis in that RX-7 at 80. Is it 80DT? Yes, 80DT liveried RX-7, but going into outside zone 1, doing a very nice job so far as they transition into out 2 now. Look at Luis just right there on the door as Max Jaeger does a lovely lead, opening it up for a good chase. Oh, but a bit of a waiver there going into out 5 as they come around into 6. Things are looking a bit intense. Coming around now into the final zone. Luis trying to make the dive, and he does, get right there into the pocket, almost taking him out, getting almost in front, but goes across the line, almost pushing him across the line at that as well. Max Jaeger doing a nice lead. Just that one little waiver in the lead. Going into 5 might have caused a bit of problems. But Luis could have potentially tidied up the chase a tiny bit more. I know that RX-7 is very gripped up though. So that is going to be diving very fast, as well as it being a very lightweight chassis and snappy chassis at that. Not the easiest car to drive. As we have them swapped around now, Luis leading in Max. What will Max do? What answer will he have for Luis as they initiate now? But look at the transition, like look at the proximity as they were, but you almost took Luis out there with that F22, but they do a nice job, good job at recovering this run as they come around into out 5. Oh, just nearly making contact there. In these transitions, look at the snap that Luis is doing in these transitions though, looking very nice in the lead. Max tried his hardest not to take out that RX-7 in the chase as he comes around now onto the wall, doing a very nice job there, but not as close as he could be. Across the line. That was a very interesting battle to say the least. Not too sure what the judges are going to think of that one. Oh, and we do have a decision. So left for Max, right for Luis. Germany versus Spain. Oh, and it's going to Louise. So Max just having a bit of problems at the start of the run potentially in his chase. So that ATDT RX7 is going to be going into the top 16. Fortunate for Max Jaeger there, doing a great job. As we move on to the next battle. Very unfortunate there for Max. I know he's been doing very well this season as well. Here we go, F22 versus RB30 S15. So it's Karolis leading in Ritums. So here we go. What can they do? What question will they ask each other? What answer will they have for each other as they are in outside one? Doing a nice job there so far. Ritums kind of holding back a bit so he can get the dive just like that. Doing a very nice job. Look at the transition from Ritums though. Doing a very solid job as they transition into out 6 now. Ritums is right there. Almost just falling behind though as he comes back around. Karolis doing a solid job in the lead. Ritums coming around into the dive on the wall now. Keeping it there. As you can see, his front wheels are locking up. Trying to make sure that he does not take out Karolis in the lead. Very nice run between the two. So what will Karolis say to Ritums? Ritums has asked the question, yo, I chased you, what are you going to do? So what will his answer be? We will see. Once again, the rhymes are coming back. They're coming back. As we flip them around now. So now we have Karolis chasing in that S15 piloted by Ritums. So we'll just let our start line marshal drift chat send them down the straight as the lights go green. Ritums coming through the chicane. Here we go. As they keep saying transition, they initiate into outside one. Doing a very nice job so far. Oh, but look at the proximity there from Karolis. He knows he has to push hard as they transition now into out 5, doing a solid job. Ritums was a bit shallow on the angle at the first half of the course, but he's doing a good job of getting the angle back on. Karolis kind of falling behind there, but he comes around. Will he get the dive onto outside zone 8? Kind of slowly bringing him in. He's right there, right on the door of Ritums. That's fine. Not a bad chase. Not too shabby at all. Ritums doing a nice job there in the lead as well. I'd just say that the main place for contention will be outside zone 1 going into 2. There was a bit of shallowness in the angle. So what will the judges do? I'd love to pick at their brains and see what they're thinking. Oh, it is very, very in the UK at the moment. Having to constantly have sips on my drink. Plus, yesterday I did wipe my throat off. And here we go. We do have a decision. So left for Karolis, right for Ritums. Who is going into the top 16? Who is finishing this half of the bracket? Oh, we have one for one more time. One for Karolis. And it is going to Karolis. So unfortunately, Ritums just not having a good time there. And Karolis does come on top, so he will be moving into the top 16. So we have one more battle now in this half of the bracket, which is Kevin Schwartz versus Dāvids. Two E92 BMWs there. What can they do with it? As the lights go green, they send it down the straight now. Kevin Schwartz leading in Dāvid. Ooh, but look at Dāvid right there, but kind of falls behind and goes inside. Trying to get the proximity back as he does, but gets caught up in the pocket and straightens out. Kevin Schwartz doing a solid lead though at this point. So transition into 5, doing a very nice job. Oh, but look at Dāvid just really struggling there in the chase. Trying to get his proximity back. Fighting too hard with the car as he almost takes out Kevin and puts himself straight and almost into the wall as they come around outside zone 8. just unfortunate there for Dāvids, just not being able to bring the answer to the lead. Just went too aggressive on the start, as you can see here. Oh, I've just realised we got our replays back. Very nice. As you can see here, Dāvids just really struggling to keep the proximity there as he straightens out and tries to bring himself back. Comes in very shallow once again. And he just has no answer. Potentially makes contact there with Kevin, but Kevin doing a great lead. Keeping it nice and smooth. And just Dāvids really not being able to say anything in the conversation. As we have Kevin now chasing in Dāvids. It probably will be a 10-0 advantage to Kevin, so he's got to make the most of what he can get. But oh, Kevin just getting a bit too aggressive there at the start. He did not need to push that hard. Dāvids doing a decent job of being able to recover it as they come around now into the transition of outside clip 5. Kevin being able to recover the run as they go into 6. But oh, what's going on here? They're both really struggling in the chase today as they come around into the last outside zone now. Just once again, Kevin not having an answer for this conversation in the chase. What is happening between these two? This is probably one of the messiest battles we've seen so far. Very unfortunate for Dāvids there in his chase. And then just look here, he falls out the zone, potentially down to too much angle. I'm not too sure. It's a very sketchy first part of the course. And then here it's just Kevin goes in very deep and was just not able to continue following effectively. And just struggles to bring the proximity back, but manages to get it. But going very shallow in the zone. And there's one for Kevin. Left for Kevin, right for Dāvids. And it will be going to Kevin, so clearly, as obviously he didn't zero his chase technically as well, but Dāvids would have. Fortunately, chase to chase. Kevin just had the advantage there. Definitely needs to improve his chasing after that in the top 16. Not the nicest way to be knocked out, I can tell you that way much. Dāvids not going to be definitely not going to be very happy. But unfortunately, that is drifting. Anything can happen. But we will be getting our next set of drivers into the server as we move into our second half of the top 32 bracket at the final round of Drift King of RTRiga 2024. So as you can see here, we do have our first half of the bracket. So it will be Simport versus Matiss, Patrick versus Armands, Gert versus Louis, and Karolis versus Kevin. So an interesting first half of the top 16, to say the least. But as you can see there on the left, we do have, coming up next, Darius versus Taimar. And then we have Emilis versus Paulius, Andris Kleinsberg versus Dāvids Solinsky. And then we have Julius versus George. And then, Sylvester Snotch having a byrun. And Gert Polomets versus Riho. Juan Antonio versus Juan. And Adrian versus Damian. So an interesting second half to the bracket, as we will be moving on to the second half of the top 32. And from what I know, from what we've been told, Darius just has to get into the top 16. I think, too sure, I'd have to double check, but I think it's either he has to get into the top 16 or has to win his top 16 to become your 2024 DKRTR champion. I might have to get a confirmation from our lovely stream manager and series owner Edgar Lesmanis. Big thank you to him and the rest of the team for bringing me on and hosting such a great comp. Big shout out to Vosan in the chat. Hope you are doing good. We are doing good. We're having fun. We've had an interesting first half of the top 32. We hope you are all doing good yourself. Vote sound. We have some Darius comments coming in already as we get ready to get everyone into the server. As you can see, we have got the server up now. Getting ready for our first battle. As the drivers do get some practice in. We do have some timer as well. Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the final round of DKRTR 2024. We are on the long wall. Layout at Bargaining Circuit Riga. If you're just tuning in, and all these drivers are getting ready to send it. As you can see, the ATDT S15 there, just going down the straight. Yes, so are we. Edgars, can we get a confirmation on whether what Darius has to do to get his season win? I'm just really curious, because this battle is going to be crucial to him. See, there is Darius. Man who was aiming to take the top spot. We do have the Kawa car there, going down the straight for his practice as well.
Hello everyone.
Hello, hello.
Had a chat with the head judge, and he said if Darius gets till top 16, so if he wins this battle, he's the winner of the series.
Ooh, but what if he doesn't?
Then yeah, but then there's a chance he probably stays second.
Ooh, so this is a big battle for him. Very big battle. I'm guessing he's got the points advantage enough for this one battle to just take top spot then. That is crazy. So all is on the line here for Darius Striker in this next battle, so I know he's going to be wanting to push hard.
The judge saying it's almost impossible that Striker not taking the win. There is 99 points. He already have almost there. He just need one extra win to make it score.
Also, no matter what, it's essentially he's got to take this win to secure it. But if he doesn't, he's got a chance of not taking it. Ooh. But then again, even then, it's wow. Oh, Erta's going to have a good weekend. I believe in all of our drivers, but we know what Darius is like. And he is SVDS Season 1 and Season 3 winner as well. So he's aiming to take his second championship. His teammate, Ernestas Yukubles, just got the VDM championship win yesterday as well. So they're aiming to go big. As we just await on our start line marshal to get everyone ready. We will see what happens. It all comes down to this. As you can see, we do have the drivers in the pits hauling ass up to the start line to get their runs in. There's the cow car on the start line. What a vehicle. Big thank you to all those who are joining in on the TikTok and sharing the stream. Getting more awareness for this amazing series. As you can see, their points leader Darius Striker on the start line. Getting ready to send it. These guys are throwing it hard into that towards that start line. There we go. The pit procedure has been put out, which means the championship deciding battle has come up. It is time for Darius Striker to lead in Taimar. Ainson. Can Taimar ruin or potentially squander his chances? But here we go. Darius Striker now leading in, our championship leader so far. Leading in, Taimar there, doing a nice flick into outside zone one. Taimar struggling to get the proximity, doing a nice job so far looking very tidy there from Darius, as he is a textbook lead driver, but Taimar trying to get the proximity, but a very late flick there, having some internet issues as he transitions into out of 7. This is looking good from Darius, but can Taimar bring the answer to his problems? Oh, I think he can. He's just getting up onto the wall and across the line. It's going to be a very difficult one for Taimar to compete with, I'd say. With the lack of proximity in some places, he's going to have to really push hard in his lead. And Night Venom in the chat there. Could this be Darius's win? Could this be the deciding battle where he gets the top spot of the season and takes first place? We will have to see. Unfortunately, with lag, it is counted really as a mechanical issue as it would be in real life from what I can remember. So we'll have to see what happens, as we do have the Estonian now leading in the Lithuanian that lives in the UK. Here we go, Darius Striker chasing in Taimar Ainson. Oh, and I'm not sure what happened there. I'm guessing there was a false start and contact with the cones. And as Darius very courteously moves back there for his opponent. So as we have them back on the line again, the lights go green. Here we go, as Darius now chases in Taimar. Here we go. What can he do to secure his place in the top spot for DKRTR24? He's looking very sketchy though with that internet connection, so Darius is going to be playing it safe, making sure he does not get in the way of that as they transition to out of 6 so far, doing a very nice job as they come around now into out of 7. Things are looking good. So far, Taimar is doing a good job in the lead, but Darius is right there, coming across the wall. Is he going to push up? Yes, he is. He's going wheel to wheel, pushing him across the line. What a performance between these two. As we can see at the replay. So a very, just almost pulling out zone with too much angle in the lead, but Darius is right there, doing a good job through out of 4. And then he tidies his lead up quite a lot, just almost pulling out of 6, a bit too early though. But filling in out 7 nicely. It's going to be a difficult one, because he almost over-rotates in outer 8 as well. But will Darius be getting the top spot? Left for Darius, right for Taimar. And Darius Striker takes the win, not just in the top 32, moving to the top 16, but he is your Drift King of RTRiga 2024 champion, taking the top spot. He has got the points. No one can catch up now. He has got the win. Team Ursa taking top spot once again. So unfortunately, that time I just having a bit too much of a struggle, but a big congratulations. But now it's up to the other drivers to see who can take second and third in the series. Darius just having an extremely calculated chase. As we have Emilis versus Paulius. Paulius chasing in that cow car, both Lithuanian. Can we get some moves in the chat? The cow car is on track. As the lights go green, we have that A90 leading in that E92. What can they do? Here we go as they initiate into outside zone 1, just kind of struggling to get a proximity. But look at the dive from the E92 there, piloted by Paulius. Doing a very nice job so far as they come around into outer 4. It's looking decent. I mean, it's just dropping a bit back there in that E92, but manages to get the proximity once again as they transition now, going in towards outside zone 7. Doing a good job in the lead, but the chase is a bit sloppy, but he's trying to get the dives. Oh, but the lead! Emilis makes contact with the wall, so that is a big shake-up in this battle. We will have to see how this goes in the second half. As you can see there, just... wow. Could Paulius be moving on into the top 16? We'll have to see in the second half. See, this is what happens when you drink your milk, you hit walls. That's demonstrated by Emilis here. Doing a good job though, it's just right here. Coming in, just makes contact with the wall, almost completely straightening, manages to save it. Very unfortunate. As we have them flipped around now. What can Paulius do in the lead? Emilis is going to have to do some wonder in the chase as well to make up for the mistake in their lead. As Drift Chat now gets the light sequence underway, here we go for the second half of this battle. What can Paulius do as they shoot it down the main straight? Nice initiation between the two of them. Look at the proximity from Emilis, but having to pull back a bit there for the adjustments that was made in the lead, sorry. As they come around into outer 4, doing a very nice job. Nice early transition there from that A90 Super as they come around into outer 6 now. Big transition, very close to the wall there from Emilis in the chase. Doing a very nice job between the two of these. A lovely lead here as Emilis just takes advantage of that open door, coming around outer 8, very deep into that wall, but almost over rotating there in the chase. What a crazy second half. Lovely stuff. As you can see here on our instant replay, very nice initiation between the two of them. As you can see there, just having to readjust in the chase. Manages to get right back onto the door, and I love this early transition to try and get back onto the door. A lovely, lovely bit of chasing here. And the lead was also just absolutely textbook. What a battle. We've got a comment saying no one more time. I don't know. It's looking quite heavy for Paulius here. As Emilis did make that mistake in the lead with that contact to the wall, as we can see here. While the judges make their decision. So good outside zone 1 from Emilis here. And transitioning to 2 also very nice. And then Paulius gets that dive going. And everything's pretty good here. Very good from Emilis. And Paulius just trying to make advantage of all of it. But this is where it could be the big change of judging. That contact with the wall right there could be the decider for this battle. So we will have to see. Very nice work from both of these drivers, but who is going to be going into the top 16 in the final round of DKR 2024? DKRTR 2024. I'm speaking too fast. ADHD is going crazy right now. Ooh. And we have both of them on the finish line there, waiting for their results. To give a little wheel spin there, just a little wave with the wheels. So we're just getting another look at Paulius's lead. Very interesting initiation between the two of these. I think they're trying to look at what happened there as to why Emilis had to adjust, because that could also be another deciding factor. Did they see if... Are they thinking that Paulius made a big correction in outside zone 1? So far it's looking pretty good. So we do have a decision. Will it be left for Emilis or right for Paulius? Will it be the cow car or will it be the A90? Lithuanian versus Lithuanian, and it is going to Paulius in the cow car. Unfortunately, Emilis just making that mistake in the lead against that wall. Very unfortunate there, but Paulius will be moving into the top 16. The final round. So now we have an S15 and an A90 looking very spicy, very clean, very nice, very groovy. As we have Andris Kleinsberg versus David, or David, never get that right. So here we go, A90 chasing in the S15. What will Andris Kleinsberg do in the lead? Doing a nice big flick initiation there, but David kind of a bit far behind, but goes for the dive as they come into outside zone 2. Doing a good job, but making contact with Andris Kleinsberg and taking him off of track. Could that... that happened so fast. What happened there? So as they came around into the transition, David just catching a bit too much grip, I think. From the looks of this. Yep, as you can see, just catching too much grip and making contact. So could that be David's fault? We'll have to see. Very big contact there though. It's the first mistake we've seen in that section of the track, as we have them now flipped around. David leading in Andris Kleinsberg. So what will they do? Oh, and I think, I'm not too sure what's happened here. Another false start, that's the second one of the round. So here we go. Get them back to the line. Let's have a clean start, boys. Come on. So here we go. As we wait for the lights to go, David is absolutely urgent to get across that line and sending it down as the lights go green. Here we go. A90 leading in S15 with the 2J. B58 versus 2J. Who will take the top spot? Here we go as they initiate into outside zone 1. Doing a very nice job there. Andris Kleinsberg just right in the right spot there. And gets into the pocket of David. Doing a nice job. Doing a good smooth lead so far as Andris goes very wide in that chase. Doing a lovely job so far as they come around now into the second to last transition, coming into outer clip 7. Andris is looking strong in the chase as he comes into the dive across into outside zone 8, doing a very nice job, pushing him around across the line. Very nice job there between the two of them. Very, very nice job from Andris Kleinsberg. David just doing a good lead as well. But it's all going to be down to the first run in this battle. As you can see here, Andris going very wide and nice there. To come around. Andris was looking very strong. This transition here was absolutely textbook. David just really trying to push on the best lead line he can. What about left for Andris, right for David, who is taking the spot in the top 16. And it is going to be, oh, excuse me, is Andris Kleinsberg going up into the top 16. So that contact will be down to David, unfortunately, in that first half. So now we have Julius versus George, which will complete the third quarter of the top 32 bracket. So here we go, two JS15s. One from Spain, one from Latvia. One ADTT. I can't ever say that right. ADTD. Is it A? Or is it AT? No, it's ATDT. There we go. There we go. As they do all but just catching Julius there in the back. Trying his hardest to keep the proximity nice and close as we come around now into out of 5. Looking just in the wrong spot. How did he not make contact there? That is looking very sketchy. Julius doing a very good job in the lead though, as they come around into the last outside zone now. Just George really struggling to make a good chase out of that. Very unfortunate there for George. He's doing a good job though in outside zone 1, so looking very tidy, and then George tries to go for the dive but gets inside the pocket too late. Makes a bit of contact which almost straightens out Julius' wheels, and it's just looking a bit messy. So now we have them flipped around. George Gus. Oh god, my screen's all messed up. So we've got George leading in Julius. And what can they do with this second part of the battle? And Julius kind of struggling to find the spot, but doesn't make the same mistake as George in that section. So all he has to do is be there in the conversation. But going 2 wheels potentially off on that curb there. And George trying to push hard in his lead. Doing a good job of it, just making that slight mistake on that curb. But making contact with the wall there, and Julius is right there. Very sketchy set of runs, I'd say, between the two of them. So a very interesting set of runs. As you can see here, just really this wall seems to be where people are struggling. So will it go to Julius or George? As we don't seem to have George there on the finish line. As left for Julius, or right for George. Would it be the Latvian or the Spanish man? Going into the top 16. And it's going to Julius. So less mistakes made on Julius's part. And unfortunately, George is going to be knocked out of the top 32. Hopefully we can see him next season. If we have another season, I'm not too sure. As Drift Chat gets the semaphore moved there. And we will be just having a quick server restart. Just so we can get our next set of drivers in. So here is the bracket so far. We are looking very interesting. So next will be Anestas Ukublas versus Sylvester Snotch, but I'm not too sure if Anestas is actually turning up. He did say he wanted to celebrate today for his victory at VDM, so potentially it will be a byrun for Sylvester there. And then we have Gert Polomets versus Riho Kopso, Juan Antonio, and Jan Shah? Is that how you say it? Shah? And then we've got Adrian versus Damian to finish it off. So then we will have our full top 16 bracket there. As we just await for our server to go and get ready with our next set of drivers. As you can see there, got our drivers in there, just getting a couple of practice runs before we get underway. Oh, and we got the semaphore driving quite in a drunk way. As Drift Chat gets ready to get our drivers set up. So here we go, just a little look back at the action with Darius, Fredrik and Taimar, which did give us our champion for this season. So as you can see, we are getting a couple of highlights from the top 32 so far. So we are going into our last quarter. As you can see, an Assetto drifting livery on that A90. Big shout out to Assetto and Ander. Don't know if he's still watching, but much love to that team. Darius may have taken top spot, but everyone still has a chance of gaining points to get as high as they can in the season. And potentially to take second and third. We still have those spots up for grabs. Oh, and there it is, my favourite livery, the Kinder car on that Evo 10. Wicked, wicked livery. do believe that we have got our pit. So will this be our... Will. So it is getting a byrun as Andris is taking the time to celebrate his victory at VDM, so Sylvester will be moving into the top 16. So right now he just gets to do a free qualifying run, practice run essentially. Looking very nice. Solid lead. Let's just imagine there's a Andris chasing him. Very nice job there. If this was qualifying, this would be a nice run. And across the line. With a nice little spin there. As he gets to move into the top 16 for free. Very kind of an Andris. So we will be moving on to the next battle. Which is Gert versus Riho. We are almost finished in the top 32. Soon it will be the top 16. There we go, Gert leading in Riho. In that 2JS15. 2 Estonians. Here we go, the lights go green and we send them down the straight. Now F22 chasing in very fast as they initiate into outside zone 1, doing a very nice job so far. Riho kind of going a bit deep there. Trying to find his pacing, but look at Gert just doing an absolute beautiful lead line so far. To come around into outer 6. Things are looking good. Riho trying to find the door, but can he do it? That is the question as they come around into the last transition now into outside zone 8. Riho being very careful with how he's chasing. I don't know whether he's doing it strategically or he's just struggling to keep the pace. We will have to see, but both these Estonian drivers are very talented. They've got a lot of capabilities, so we'll have to see how they do in the next half of the battle. Very nice there. Very tidy battle so far. That's the main thing. It's nice and tidy. But we will have to see what Riho can do with his lead. And Gert is going to have to make it clean as well. Because Riho could have been closer, but it was clean. As we have them flip around now, the lights are going to go green. As we send them down the straight. Riho now leading in Gert as they flick it into outside zone 1, doing a very nice job there. But look at the difference in proximity, but he does almost go too wide. As he comes across that curb, doing a good job, keeping the line nice and smooth. Gert right there now. Look at the dive from Gert as he comes around into outside 7 now. Just sticking it right across the door of Riho. But look at the dive going into outside zone 8. The craziness that is Gert has pushed Riho across the line. What a final half to that battle. Gert knew he had to do some magic. As you can see, he just almost left him, but ended up going too deep into that zone, and it gave Gert the opportunity to catch up. And then from here on, it's just right here, just right there, just a big explosive dive right there as well. That is insane. That is pushing the colliders to the farthest they can get. Beautiful chase there from Gert. As we have both our drivers sat at the finish line waiting for their result. Will it be left for Gert, right for Riho? Either way, an Estonian's going through. And it will be Gert going into the top 32? Top 16 of DKRTR24's final round. As we do have one more battle now. No, 2 more battles, sorry. In this last half of the top 32, which will be Juan versus Juan. I do believe these are both ATDT cars as well, from my memory. Or are they not? Remember, no, they are not. Thought they were. Big sad. Hoping to see a teammate battle, but we have that A90 leading in that F22. As we now have the lights go green, Juan is going to be chasing in Juan. What can he do as they flick now into outside zone 1, doing a very nice job. But look at the slow dive there from Juan. That's very controlled, very concise as they transition into out 2. Kind of falling back a tiny bit, but he manages to make it work. Into out 5. Juan's doing a nice job in the lead. Look at the proximity to the wall there from Juan as they come around into the last 2 transitions of the track. But Juan is still there, trying to push, but pushes onto the side of Juan's door there, coming across the line and making it very clean at the end. This is going to be a great battle to get into the top 16. Very clean. As you can see there, just a couple of corrections from Juan to try and get the proximity back. Beautiful work from both of these drivers. And we do have Juan starting the back there. There we go. I'm guessing he'll have a spotter telling him what he needs to do for the second half of this battle. As Juan now leads in with that F22 Eurofire. Here we go. And doing a big flip there into outside zone 1, doing a very nice job, almost falling out of it, but keeps it in as Juan is right there, goes for the dive in a clip 3, does a very nice job of, look at the transition though from Juan, right there with Juan, coming into out 6 now. Look at the proximity between Juan and Juan, this is looking insane. Juan just doing the best he can to put on the pressure to try and get that advantage over Juan. But kind of falls behind there as Juan does a good job of doing that last outside zone on that wall. And coming across the line, that's a very interesting second half. So as you can see here, he goes for the dive through here, shallows out and cuts in a clip 3 to try and get onto the door, but does a really good job right here. This is where the chasing gets more explosive. But then going into out zone 8, he loses his ground. Just slightly over that angles and struggles to get the proximity, but manages to bring it back, mind you. But that is an interesting one to watch. Putting on a good show. But will it be left for Juan? Right for Juan? Spanish versus Estonian. And it is going to Juan Antonio. Representing ATDT. God, I can never get that right. Amazing work there from Juan. Not having quite enough, I don't think, to take the edge. What about? So now, as you can see, we have 2 drivers warming up their tyres. We have Adrian versus Damian. So Adrian leading in with that A90 from Assetto Drift Team. And we have Damian in that Kinder liveried Mitsubishi Evo 10. But so far, the initiation's looking really good. Adrian doing a tidy lead so far, but Damian is right there, putting it towards the door as they transition into out of 5. But a very big angle there going into out of 5. This is looking good between the 2 of them. The transition for the last 2 times in this first half of the battle. Look at this, just putting on the pressure onto Adrian. Could be a bit closer, but as they come across the line, it was a good first half. It kept it clean. Kinder car looking absolutely amazing, but the Assetto Drift family livery is just chef's kiss. Love it. Very clean battle so far. So as you can see here, we now have them flipped around. We aren't on the replay, but we now have Damian from Poland leading in Adrian from Spain, as the overlay does have a bit of an issue. And it seems to have sorted itself. There we go. So here we go, Damian leading in Adrian. What's Adrian going to say to the Kindercar? Here we go, but a big side-by-side initiation from Adrian there, but putting it right wheel to wheel as they transition out of 6. Again, almost caught up there, but manages to keep it going. Very nice job there from Adrian, but Damian doing a really solid lead line so far as they come around into out of 6. Looking very good, Adrian having to kind of pick up the pace to try and get back onto the door to come around into outside 8 now to finish off the run. What can Adrian do to get onto the door? Can he put it up there? Yes, he can, and across the line. What a battle to finish off the top 32. Love that livery. I love both of those liveries. So cool. Who do we think is going to take this battle? And we have another car exposing itself. The Kindercar is going crazy. As you can see Adrian in the cockpit of that A90 just looking a bit confused, looking over like, dude, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? Amazing work from both of these drivers as we get another look at the lead from Adrian here. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful from both of these. There was a bit of points where they did struggle to get it, but will it be left for Adrian, right for Damian? We will have to see. Spain versus Poland. Oh, and it is going to Damian. So it was a split decision, so it was going to be either one more time or but Damian is going to be taking the win and going into the top 16. So unfortunately the Skugo Drift family A90 just not being able to make it into the top 16, but the Kinder prevails. And that is our top 16 bracket fully formed from what I can see. So you can see the semaphore was just moving off to the side as the server gets reset. And there you have it. There is our top 16 bracket for the final round of DKRTR 2024 at the long wall layout at Team Riga. So we have Simvort versus Matiss, we have Patrick versus Armands, Gert versus Louise, Karolis versus Kevin, Darius versus Paulius, Andris versus Julius, Sylvester versus the other Gert, Armands, not Kubizap, Juan versus Damian. This is going to be shaping up to be a very interesting 16, to say the least. So we have all of our drivers now getting ready to throw down for the top 16. This has gone very smooth. Touch wood. all been enjoying this round, this season. It's been crazy. It's been a great road to get to this point. Just stick with us while we get everyone ready to get into top 16. As you can see here, just some little highlights from the top 32. So here we go. We have Simvort now at the line with Matiss, getting ready to kick off our first battle of the top 16 in the final round. Here we go. As the lights go green, we send these boys down the straight. What will happen? Will it be Vort taking the win, or will it be Matiss? Here we go. Doing a very nice job in outside zone 1 so far. Sim doing a very good job, but look at Matiss right there on the door, pushing up from in the cut 3 onto Sim's door as they come around into outside zone 5, doing a very nice job coming around, looking solid between the two of these. Look at the proximity that Matiss is putting on with the crazy transitions coming around and coming across the track. He is looking solid. Sim is doing a good lead, but look at Matiss just right there, wheel to wheel, pushing him across the line. What a first half of the battle. Sim's going to have to push hard for this one. That was a great chase from Matiss. So here we go, flipping them around as we get them ready to send it down into the initiation here. Big flick there from Matiss, doing a nice job, but Sim struggling to get a proximity, but here we go, he comes for the dive. Very close there, almost bumper, pretty much bumper to bumper in that transition through inner cut 3. Doing a solid job though. In the lead is Matiss. Sim trying to get a proximity, almost getting caught up there, but pushes it onto the side of the door there of Matiss, doing a very nice job as they come into the last outside zone now. But will Sim get into the pocket? Here he is, Simvort doing what he can against Matiss there, very nice, and across the line. It's going to be a hard one for Sim to compare with, as Matiss's chase was very, very deep time. But look at that transition there, getting right up into that. Right up in his business. So who will be getting the battle is the question. Will it be the Estonians, or will it be the Latvian local, Matiss? It's the first top 16 battle. Wow. As we get another look into first half of the battle. Just trying to get a comparison as to where Matiss was on the track in his chase. Look at the proximity from this man. Would it be left for Sim? Right for Matiss? That is the question. And it is going to Matiss, but it was not a straight cut decision. It was a split decision. Unfortunately, Sim is going to be knocked out of the top 16. This is where his event finishes. As he's just putting on the stronger chase. But congratulations to both of the drivers for a hard-fought battle. As we move on to our next battle in the top 16. Which will be Fredrik versus Armands versus Matiss. I was trying to look at my sheet, but it was really zoomed in. So here we go as Fredrik leads in Armands. But Armands going too heavy into the initiation, making contact with Fredrik there. He knew he had to push hard, but overdid it. And unfortunately, that will be putting a major advantage to Fredrik there. As you can see, going up into the initiation, side by side, but just tagging his front wheel. Getting too aggressive. Very unfortunate way to start the battle. And here we go, we have both of our drivers flipped around. Fredrik knows he's got the major advantage, so he does not have to do much in the chase to be able to get this battle. Armands is going to have to work very hard here to get a chance to be able to get this battle. As we just wait for our starter by Marshall to send him down. As Armands is etching to go, as you can see. And here we go, as the lights go green, we send him down. Fredrik is going to be chasing in Armands versus Matiss this time in that Evo 10. Armands doing a nice initiation, no. Fredrik right there with him, trying to make sure he doesn't get too aggressive as he gets right into that pocket of that PS13. Doing a nice job in the chase. Armands doing a solid lead as well. Looking very nice between the two of these as they come around into the last transition now, going into outer 8. All Fredrik has to do is stay with him, stay in the conversation. Across the line. Very nice tactical chase there by Fredrik. So, who will take it? Give us a wave, Fredrik. Oh, and it is going to be a decision. So, left for Fredrik, right, Armands versus Matiss. And the Polish man, Fredrik, gets the win, going into the top 8. Very nice work there. A very calculated chase. And he knew exactly where he needed to be. Unfortunately, Armands just making that big mistake in the first half of the battle. But he put on a good effort. So we will be seeing Fredrik into the top 8. As we move on to our next battle now. Which will be Gert Cooperzep versus Louise. Here we go. Who can take the top spot for the top 8? As we have the RX-7 leading, chasing in. That is 15 with the RBs, went 30. But look at the initiation there from Louis, the ATDT. RX-7, I said it correct this time. chasing that awake S15. Both of these boys are going hard, but look at the proximity between the two as they transition to out of zone 6. But Louis is right there on the door as Gert does a lovely lead line so far. But look at the proximity from Louis here. The RX-7 is absolutely hauling as he does lose a bit of ground here, coming across the last outside zone, but doing a good job of being able to come around. Look at that initiation between them. What a first half of the battle, but now we have Louise in that ATDT. RX-7 leading in Gert Cooperset in that RB30 S15, but look at the initiation between the two, but he loses ground. Louise having to try and make it a correction as it could have been potentially contact there between Gert and Louise, but they managed to bring it back onto the track, going around into out of 5 now, but too much angle there, and Gert makes contact, and they come around into outside zone 6. It's very scrappy in this room. Come around to the final zone. They knew that first run was pretty good between the two of them, so they had to do something extreme to make sure that they could get the top spot and take the win for this. And wow, that was a very scary first half. But what happened here on the initiation? Could there have been contact by Gert as he went for the dive? Not too sure, but here we see that Louis just over angles in that transition, but Gert said, "No, I got you, bro. I've got you. I'll just correct you for yourself." And they managed to keep the run going. So very nice work there from both of them. Just a lot of mistakes happening in that second half. Our judges are going to be looking at this with all of the angles they can get. As we get another look at Gert's lead. The only mistake that Louis made in that chase was just losing a bit of ground going into outside zone here, I'd say. Gert doing a great job in the lead as well. Got some people saying that Louis went off track. And Gert tapped Louis in initiation. Potentially, that's what I think the judges are trying to look for here. See what the cause of going off track was by Louis. Could it have been that he just overshot it and didn't put on enough angle to try and get it to go where it needed to go? Or did Gert tapping in the initiation and launch the car further forward than it needed to be and he tried to adjust? To see. Very uncertain as it does happen in a split second. Judges are just properly checking through all of the replays, all of the footage they can find. Got some Latvian flags in the chat. Gumo saying, where are we on about the initiation tap, potentially? As we get a couple of flashes from Gert there. Potentially. It doesn't look like he does, but left for Gert, right for Lewis. Who was at fault? One for Gert. And it is going to be going to Gert Kubaset, taking the win in the top 16, moving to the top 8. He's doing a great job in his chase, just unfortunately making too many corrections and making too many mistakes in his lead. So he is deemed at fault for going off track.
Hi Brandon, hi viewers. Hi, it's the head judge Armands here. So I wanted to comment on this run because this one's really tricky. We reviewed it several times. We deem it as Lewis's fault because he let go of the throttle. He was doing a small 3-point initiation, but okay, let's deem it as just doing a small burnout. But when doing the weight transfer, when he was pointing on the opposite direction of the first corner, he released the throttle pedal. He released the throttle pedal before the initiation, and that means it's a 0 on the initiation, and we deem the conflict as Lewis's fault. And after that, he was 2 wheels off, but still, as it's his fault, so is the 2 wheels off.
Perfect. That is unfortunate on his end, but that is how it is. Thank you very much to our judge for coming through and being able to kind of explain what happened there. So there you have it. This is why they take their time to look at all of the choices they make, because they like to make sure that they have made the right call. And rightfully so. So we'll be Gert Kubaset moving into the top 8, which means now we have Karolis versus Kevin Schwarz to finish off the first half of the top 16 bracket. So here we go, Karolis, the Lithuanian, in the lead with Kevin Schwarz, the German, into chase. E92 versus F22. Who can take the top spot here? As we did say, Kevin does need to improve his chasing from his top 32 battle. Here we go. So Karolis doing a nice job in the lead so far. Kevin how to get the proximity back, but what can he do? Running around into outside zone 5, doing a nice job so far from Karolis, but Kevin kind of struggling to get the proximity there, but he is finding it slowly as they come around into the last part of the track. Doing a decent job there, but Kevin just not really having an answer for this, but he does make a dive here to try and get the proximity and maximize the chasing points as he can get, and coming across the line. Here's the top 16. You can't hesitate in the chase at this point, as Karolis does a really nice lead. And here we go. Kevin leading in Karolis now. And as they fire it down the straight, what can Karolis do in the chase with that F32 with the E92 to lead in? So they transition now into outer clip 2, doing a solid job. Karolis right there on the door of Kevin as they transition into outer zone 5. Doing a good job, keeping it nice and clean as Kevin does a solid lead as well. Karolis just making sure they can get a bit more proximity than what Kevin did in the chase previously. As he goes for the dive there, just nice and just kind of bit of left foot brake, bit of handbrake to get him across the line. Decently clean battle, just not what Kevin was wanting in his chase. Karolis doing a good job there. Just putting it right where it needs to be. And then transitioning into 5 right there as well. Kevin once again doing a good lead as well, so it's going to be lead for lead, chase for chase. Lovely job there from both of these drivers. 2 BMWs. But which one will go through to the top 8? We do have another look at Karolis' lead. Here we go. Do we have a decision? Here we go. So left for Karolis, right for Kevin, who will be moving into the top 8. And it is going to Kevin Schwarz, taking the top spot into the top 8. Congratulations to my man. Very nice work there. As we move on to the next battle. Karolis not being able to get into the top 8, unfortunately. So there is the first half of our top 8 bracket done and dusted and ready to go. So we have Matiss versus Patrick, and we have Gert Kubasab versus Kevin Schwarz to do the first top 8 battles. We're almost there. So now we have Darius versus Paulius. And then Andris versus Julius, Sylvester versus Gert, Juan versus Damian. So we will be having a quick little break while we get the servers up. And we get our drivers ready for practice. So here we go, we do have our drivers in the server. Getting a couple of runs in before they get sent out for their top 16 battles. Here's a couple of highlights from previous battles. Do we have the pit command being sent? I think we do, because it looks like Darius, Striker and Paulius are at the line. The moo car, the cow car, the milker, yes, has arrived. The milk float has made it to the line with Darius, Striker, which is our current, well, is our now champion of DKRTR 2024, but now this drive is going to be just him going as far as he can to prove a point, but Paulius tapping him on that outside zone 1. But Darius is doing a good job of recovering that very well. Paulius trying to get as aggressive as he can to take down the champion as they come across, but getting a bit too deep into outside zone 5 as they come around 2 out of 7. Darius doing a very good job of recovering his run, as he did have a lot of contact from Paulius coming across the line. The milk float is trying its hardest to take down the champ. Look at that, just a bit too aggressive there. Mr. Striker doing a very good job of really recovering. This is proving why he is the champion. So now we are going to be going back to the start line with Darius Striker chasing in the milk float from Lithuania. Here we go. So as they flick now into outside zone 1, look at Darius Striker right there on the door of Paulius, doing a solid job so far as he transitions into our clip 2. This is looking very tidy from Darius, but Paulius doing a very nice job in the lead as well. Getting almost wheels onto the curb, but does a very good job of avoiding that as they come into the second to last transition now. Just a really solid chase from Darius as he gets up into the door and coming around the last of outside 8, doing a very nice job. Absolutely textbook job, both of these drivers. Who will be getting the win? Left for Darius and Striker, right for Paulius. And it is going to Darius and Striker.
Good.
Very nice job there. As Darius is going to be absolutely buzzing as he manages to take it into the top 8. But now we have Andris Kleinsberg versus Julius. Here we go as they come into the chicane now, sending it down the main straight. Here we go into outside zone 1, doing a nice job so far. Andrews doing a good job. Julius trying to stick with him, both in 2 JS15s. But look at the proximity between the two. Julius doing a very nice job in the chase after outside zone 1, but as they come around into out of 6, losing a bit of his pace there as Andrews comes around nice and wide into 7. And Julius trying to get his ground back, and he is struggling, but he manages to burn it onto the door and across the line. Very nice work there from both of these drivers. And here we go. Can I time this correctly? That is the question. I cannot. We almost did. We almost did. But here we go. Andris Kleinsberg chasing in Julius. Look at the proximity between these two as they come around outside zone 1, doing a very nice job as they transition into 2 now, but losing a bit of ground. But Andris gets the dive in as they come into outer 4. Doing a very solid job though in the lead is Julius. Andris is right there on the door, not making sure he gets away as they transition into 7. Losing a bit of ground now, but Julius right in the wall of 7. As they come to the last outside zone now, doing a very solid job between the two, but Andris is right there and across the line. What a run. Very nice run there between the two of these. As we now have them at the bottom of the track, waiting for their results. Who is going to be moving into the top 8? Will it be Andris Kleinsberg or will it be Julius on the right? And it is Andris Kleinsberg taking the win, so unfortunately Julius just not being able to bring any much more to the table. So Andris Kleinsberg is going into the top 8. As we now move on to Sylvester and Gert. Here we go as the lights go green. We send them down. Another pair of S15s with 2 Js, but Gert getting a nice bit of a gap there. Sylvester trying to keep up as they come around into inner clip 3, but Sylvester gets the proximity on there, finds the dive, but makes contact in the transition, knocking Gert slightly off of his line, but manages to keep it going nicely there. Sylvester's going to have to bring the pace back as they come across into the last transition now. Can Sylvester get the dive on to Gert's door? Yes, he can. And as they come around the last outside zone, does a little tap there, almost pushing him into the barriers. Bit of a scrappy chase. They caught the back end of Gert's car. Could hurt his quite a lot. Well, you know what time it is.
Let's go.
Send them once again down the main straight as we send them into the initiation, into outside zone 1. But where has Gert gone? What has happened to Gert? Paulius, what has happened? Sylvester's notch is just there, but we do not see Gert anywhere. Did he go too deep on the initiation? Yeah, there he is. What happened there? Sylvester's going to be getting a nice easy drive here as Gert tries to pick up the pace and get to his door. Unfortunately, it's... Oh, but Sylvester almost touching the wall. And just there was no argument. There was no answer to the chase. That is very unfortunate there from Gert. That... Oh, just catching the wheels off of the track and then coming off the track. That is very unfortunate. But both of these boys throwing in the hardest they can. Who will be taking the spot in the top 8? Gonna get another look at Gert's lead. So who is going to be taking the top spot? And here we go. Get another look at chase there, initiating very late potentially. So left for Sylvester's notch. Moving late. Oh, and it's Gert Paulius there. Very interesting. So I'm curious to see what the decision was. Do we potentially have a judge being able to give an explanation about that? Welcome back.
Hi, Brendan. Welcome. Thanks. Yeah, so the decision for this run, this was a 3-point initiation. We were quite strict about this on the briefing channels, and the lead made the mistake before the chase made the mistake. So lead had a 0 for his lead run before chase mistake, and after lead 0, chase is not valued. So that's the reason.
Perfect. That makes a lot of sense. Amazing work. Thank you very much to our head judge once again. Just being able to clarify what had happened. So I do believe we have what battle coming up. You can see movement in the back of the pits there. So now we have Juan Antonio in the ATDT A90 versus Damian in the Kindercar. That livery. as the lights go green. Here we go. What's Damian going to do in that Evo 10? Can he push it into that A90 store? We will see as the ATDT A90 Supra does a nice flick initiation into outside zone 1 as they come around into 2. Look at the transition though between Damian. He gets right onto that back bumper as he comes in towards the transition for 5. Again, not as close as he could be. Almost mounting the curb, but doing a nice job of keeping it going. Juan doing a great lead so far as they come into out of 7. This is looking very good for Juan, as Damian is struggling to keep the pace in some certain spots, but as they come around 8, they do a nice job of coming over the line. So here we go, we have them back at the line with Damian leading in Juan. As we have Drift Chat set the lights to green. Juan is definitely wanting to get close on the initiation there, as you can see. Oh, but look at the proximity from Juan from the get-go. The ATCD is doing very well in that initiation, but kind of loses ground there, has to almost touch the curb on the inner clip. Doing a nice job of recovering as Damian does a nice lead so far. Juan losing a bit of ground, but he manages to stick with him as he does a really nice transition there, bumper to bumper, but doesn't get the dive as early as he probably could have. But look at that, wheel to wheel across the line. Absolutely mega. So who will be taking the top spot? Who will be moving into the top 8? Is it Juan or Damian? One for Damian. And it is going to be Damian from Poland taking the spot in the top 8. So very unfortunate there for Juan. So there we go. That is our top 8 bracket for the last round of DKRTR 2024. So we have Matiss versus Patrick, Gert Kupersap versus Kevin Schwartz, Darius Straker versus Andris Kleinsberg, Gert Paulmetz versus Damian. Could we see 2 Gerts going against each other? That is the question as we get ready to send our boys into a server reset and get them out back onto the track for the top 8. Thank you everyone who has stuck by, watched the series throughout the entire season, and supported us. Without you, we wouldn't be anything. And there we go. We have our drivers in the server. So we are just getting our drivers prepared to line up for the battles. And it does look like we have our first top 8 battle just coming up now, which is Patrick leading in Matiss. I hope you're all as excited as I am. I'm trying to not be too enthusiastic as my throat is on its way out. But here we go. The lights go green as we have Patrick leading in with that Evo 10 from Poland. And Matiss, the Latvian local, in that F22 UFI, but going into outside one. Very nice so far from Matiss, doing a textbook chase as he has been doing all throughout this round so far. But Patrick doing a nice lead line as they come around into the transition for outside zone 5. This is looking very sleek, very clean for both of these drivers. But Patrick getting right onto the wall of outside 6, doing a beautiful job between the two of these. But Matiss is not there. He's not backing down. But look at the dive. He is right there with Patrick, putting on the pressure as they come around and cross the line on outside zone 8. Very nice work from both of these drivers on that first half of the battle, of the first battle of the top 8. It's crazy to think we've only got 4 battles. And yes, it is incredible how Matiss has been driving. You're right, he has been driving phenomenally. He has been absolutely on it this round so far. And I'm excited to see how he does for the rest of this. But also, Patrick is no one to slouch with. He knows he's wanting to get the top spot. The leads have been absolutely on it. So here we go, Matiss now leading in Patrick as we have him initiating now, doing a very nice job. And look at Patrick right on the door, Matiss, as they transition into outer 2. And look at Patrick right on the door, Matiss right now, as he transitions around into outer 5. Patrick is not backing down. He wants this battle. He wants this win. He wants to get the top spot as they come around and transition into outer 7. This is looking insane. Patrick is just right there with him, putting on as much pressure as Matiss did in his chase. Look at the proximity between these two, and across the line they go. I told you, Patrick is a man possessed. He is not one to slouch for. What a battle. Especially for the first of the top 8. This is getting crazy and crazy as it goes along. That Evo 10 is putting its paces in. Not a very common car you'll see in drifting as well, so pretty cool to see. What a battle. This is not going to be an easy one for the judges. Patrick knew exactly what he needed to do, and he did it. Come on, boys, give us a wave. As we have another review of Patrick's lead. Look at that from Matiss. Maybe shallowing the angle a bit there to keep the proximity, but very nice work from both of these. Oh, and it's left for Matiss, right for Patrick, who is going into the top 4. And it is a one more time. So they can't differentiate who can get the top. There's no difference. I'd say that's a good call. So here we go. Bringing them back to the line. With Patrick getting ready to lead back in. The first one more time of the round as the lights go green. Things are going to get tense now. Someone's got to make a mistake as Patrick leads in. Matiss with a look at the dive from Matiss here straight away. He is not backing down. He wants to be there, but kind of gets caught up in that transition. But all running the back end up on the curve. He is really pushing hard to make sure he can get Patrick out of the top 8. But look at this, absolutely on it, wheel to front wheel almost, as they transition into the last zone now. The driving from Matiss is absolutely insane. Oh my god. That is just... Look at that dive! That is not human. Just gets caught up there. That might be the deciding factor. So here we go. Matiss in the lead. Patrick into chase. Patrick knows he's going to have to do something as he does start rolling. And look at this. Patrick is right there next to Matiss. What can he do on the initiation? Right there with him once again. Absolutely on the door. Also getting caught up there. They both got caught up in the same place. Maybe making contact this time from Patrick. So this could be the place where it changes everything for this battle. But he does an early transition into 6 to try and get the proximity onto the door. Doing a very nice job of executing that as they come into outside zone 8 now in the last transition. Patrick having to get the dive up into there. But look at the proximity between these two. Absolutely on it. Now this is going to be a bit more easier for the judges, I'd say. Just read in the chat. If you've got anything about judging calls, please message the judges after the competition and they can talk through with all of you about anything that you might want to know. Let's just focus on the here and now and what's going on with the battles. I understand it's easy to give into frustration, as I do drive myself. What a battle. These two have set the bar, I'd say. So will it be left for Matiss, right to Patrick? And it is going to be going to Matiss, taking the top spot in this battle. And it is unanimous. So we'll be going into the top 4. Unfortunately, Patrick just not having quite enough making contact from the transition from 1 to 2. So now we have Gert Kubicep leading in the man, the myth, the legend. Kevin Schwarz. That's right. Here we go. German versus Estonian. Here we go. As Gert leads him in. What can these boys do for us as they now flick it into outside zone 1? Look at Gert going absolutely ham into outside zone 1 with a lot of pace, a lot of angle. What is going on here? This is crazy. Look at Sim. Sorry, I keep saying Sim. Gert Kubicep is absolutely on it, but getting pointing the wing into outer 6. Almost going backwards as Kevin Schwarz is right there with him as they transition into the last outside zone now. But Gert doing a really good job in the lead. Kevin could be a bit closer in the chase as they come across the line. Both drivers doing a great job. What a first half to the battle. So now we have Gert Kubicep chasing in Kevin Schwarz. E92 versus Z15. Here we go. What can Gert do in the chase? Flicking it into outside zone 1, but Gert just staying there with him, not doing anything too crazy. As we transition into inner clip 3. It's looking nice and clean here from Gert so far. Kevin doing a very smooth lead as well as they come around into 6. This is looking nice. Oh, but Gert getting very interesting in the chase there. Kind of, I don't even know where he was. But lovely outside zone 8 now from the both of these, and Gert just right there, doing what he has to do. Nothing too crazy in this battle. It's been they're pretty chill. This is where it's interesting for me, because Gert kind of transitions deep, which I quite like actually. As a lot of people do transition quite shallow to keep the proximity. But if you're following the lead, you follow the lead line. And Gert does that very well there. Will it be left for Gert? Right for Kevin. Oh, we've got one for Kevin. And it is a unanimous decision for Kevin Schwartz going into the top 4. Fortunately, Gert Kubersep just not being able to make it into the top 4 here. But he did a great season. So well done to Gert Kubersep. As we have our first top 4 battle now forming, which is Matiss versus Kevin. Which now moves us on to Darius Straker versus Andris Kleinsberg. And here, did we have them on the line? I think we did have them on the line. Not sure what's happening here. There we go. So we have Andris Kleinsberg getting ready to chase in Darius Straker. As the lights now go green, Drift Chat sends them down the straight. So Andris Kleinsberg is now going to have the chance to try and take down the champion. As he does a really nice initiation, but almost gets caught up in it. As they come around outside zone 1, doing a very nice job transitioning to out 2. And just trying to keep up with Darius the best he can with a nice early transition there, putting it on the door of Darius Straker. But then as they come around into out 6, he's keeping with him very nicely as they come around. Look at that. Andris Kleinsberg is really putting it on his door as they come around outside zone 8, getting really aggressive, giving him some little taps there as they come across the line. A very nice job there from Andris Kleinsberg, and Darius just doing what he has to do in the lead, as he always does. And as you can see, if you're looking in the chat, the reason Gert lost was unfortunately he did do a backy essentially into out 6, which got him the 0, which then gave the advantage to, yeah, it's just how it is unfortunately. But Darius now chasing in Andris. Here we go as he transitions into the initiation. Very nice here from Darius Straker so far in the chase, just keeping it right there on him. Transitioning now into 5. Darius just doing everything he can to keep it nice and smooth in the chase. My god, these guys are killing me. But here we go, Andris doing a very nice job in the lead, but Darius is just right there, going for the slow little reel in lead, slow reel in dive. There we go, and across the line, and Darius is just doing a little 360 there. Here we go. What will the judges think to this run? And yes, that is correct. Andris, to get the Latvian championship side to the series, does need to push hard. And Darius Straker on the left, Andris Kleinsberg on the right, who is taking the top 4 spot. And it's going to be Darius Straker with a unanimous win there. unfortunately, Andris Kleinsberg just not being able to have enough to get into the top 4, unfortunately. But did a great job against the champion of the series. But once again, Darius Ostraka just proving why he's at the top. So now we have our final battle of the top 8. Oh, and Andris Kleinsberg flying through the start line there. We have Damian versus Gert Pulamets. So we have the Kinder car going against the S15 that Gert is working with. Here we go. So as Gert now leads in with a nice little burnout coming out the chicane, the Kinder car, the Kinder egg that is the Evo 10 piloted by Damian comes in, but looking a bit shallow on the outside zone 1 so far by Gert as they transition into 2. Doing a nice job, but Damian goes for the dive right there in that wonderful livery car. I am never going to shut up about that thing. I love Kinder too much. As they go into 6, a lovely bit of angle there as they transition now into 7. Looking very solid from both sides. Damian tries to go for the dive here potentially on 8. Yes, he does, and he comes around to the outside wall, coming across the line. Very nice job between the two of these. So live on the replay, we'll have to see. Look at the dive from Damian there. He just came out of nowhere. Very good control to be able to make that work. Was a bit in and out in the chase, but we'll have to see how Gert does in his chase. And now we have Gert Pulamets chasing in Damian in that Polish Kinder car. Here we go, the Estonian versus Poland. What can Damian do in the lead as they initiate now into outside zone 1, doing a very nice job, nearly having a tyre off, but doing a solid job of keeping it on that line. Transitioning now, but just getting a bit sketchy there from Gert Pulamets as they transition into out of 5. Getting very scary now as Gert has a lot of momentum coming through here, but now he manages to pick it back up and he's getting right up into there in Damian's business as they come into the wall on outer 8. Can they make it work? Will there be any contact with the wall? No, they're just rubbing the wall and across the line they come. Whoop. Very close there between the two. Made it work very nicely. Oh, Gert almost giving me a heart attack there in this chase. As you can see here, just Damian doing a really nice job in out of 1, but Gert, as he goes for the transition, just catches a bit too much angle. I don't know, it's just, he had a lot of momentum moving through there and almost made contact. Potentially did make contact. We'll have to see what the judges think. Really, really good job between the two of these. Do really like that livery though. It's making me want to buy Kinder. Very nice work there from both of these drivers. Gert pushing hard to be where he is now as we await for the judges to make a verdict. So this will be the fight to go. If you win this battle, you will be going against Darius Ostraka in the top 4. And that man is looking to take top spot. He's already won the championship, but he's looking to take the top spot. He is looking for blood. So you best be prepared. Look at this performance between these two though. And if you're just tuning in, welcome to the final round of Drift King of RTRiga 2024 DKRTR. This is the long wall layout Bike circuit in Riga, and we are in the last battle of the top 8. A big thank you to everyone who's come through, but left for Gert, right for Damian, who is getting into the top 4 against Darius Ostraka. And it is Damian in the Easter egg car, or shall I say the Kinder egg car. I brain fired then, but Gert unfortunately just not being able to do enough in the chase. A great performance between the two of them, and we will be seeing Damian against Darius Ostraka. So Team Erta versus Team Kinder. So now, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, we are now officially in the top 4 of DKRTR 2024 for the final round. And my sheet has not updated, but we have Kevin Schwarz leading in Matiss. And Matiss has been an absolute animal so far, so he is one to be watching as Kevin now initiates into outside one, doing a very nice job there in that E92, but that F22 is chasing closely, almost getting caught up there and having to retake his position and get that pacing back up. As Kevin does a nice job in the lead so far, transitioning into outer 6. Matiss trying to do everything he can to try and bring the performance back that he was doing earlier as they go into outer 8, but he is right there and pushing across in towards the finish line. There is Matiss in the chase. Kevin doing a lovely lead there. He's just kind of pushing a bit too hard in places where he shouldn't be, and he's not been rewarded for it. As you can see here, a good initiation, but trying to get onto the door, but got caught in that pocket for too long, so he had to pull out, regain his proximity. And then same with here, just struggling to get the dives in, but then manages to bring it back nicely. Kevin putting on a nice smooth lead for him to chase. It's going to be an interesting one. Kevin's going to have to put a fight in, as Matiss has been battling hard, but don't know, that was one of the weaker chases he's done today so far. Hopefully Kevin will put on just as good of a show, as Matiss now sends it in with that E92 following behind him. But look at Kevin right there with Matiss as they transition into 2, but also almost losing the pace, but he gets right back into that door as they transition now once again going into outer 5, doing a lovely job. Oh, but just almost overcooking it there in the transition to 6. Doing a good job though. Kevin is putting up a good fight. Matiss doing a lovely lead as well. But look at Kevin putting the proximity on now, going for the dive across the line. Very nice there. Very interesting battle. Very, very interesting battle indeed. Who is taking the top spot? The top 4, who will bring to the final? That is the question. Let's get another look here. And who is it? Left for Matiss, right for Kevin Schwarz, who is going into the final. And it is going to Kevin Schwarz. And it was not a unanimous decision. So Kevin Schwarz, the German man, who can go to the final. So now we have a very interesting battle happening here as we get a nice flash of the lights there. As you can see, Darius RTRiga leading in Damian. Can Team Riga go to the final? Or will the kid in the car dash his dreams of getting that top spot for today? As we have the lights go green, Darius RTRiga now is going to lead in Damian. Nice big flick there from Darius RTRiga. But look at Damian right on the front wheel of Darius RTRiga, but kind of losing the pacing here as he comes around, but tries to keep up. Transitioning into 5, doing a very good job of keeping the proximity there. Coming into outer 6, who will be taking the top spot into the final? That is the question. Damian wants it, Darius wants it, but who is going to perform better? But Darius, look at the Damian. He is absolutely all over Darius's business. We're going to have to see what Darius does with that. very, very ballsy dive there into outer one. But he knows what kind of man Darius Ostrega is. He has to push hard. And this could potentially make Darius push hard as well. This is to go into the final. Very nice spot there between the two of them. So now we flip them around. Darius Ostrega is going to be chasing in Damian, but look at the run up that Darius has got there. See, he's positioned quite a bit further back than what Damian was on the start line, so he is looking to get the run up. And as the lights start going green, you can see Darius just starting to edge forward to get that car moving. And he wants to be on his business from the get-go. But look at Darius Ostrega right there with Damian, as to be expected. As he just look at the transition from Darius Ostrega there, absolutely insane, almost taking the back bumper off that car as they come around into outside zone 5, doing a very nice. Damian almost catching the curve there, a bit shallow on the angle, but manages to keep it going as Darius can see that and has to pull back. Does a nice job of recovering the run as they come into outside zone 8, doing a very nice job. He is almost trying to run away from Darius, but making contact with the wall. Very unfortunate for Damian there. That is very unlucky. Potentially see him into the final, which means he could go into the battle for third. Just a bit shallow on outside zone 1 there. Darius's transition there was just unbelievable though. That man is absolutely on it today. As he comes across, he loves the A90 at the moment. I've noticed that. He's been using it in VDM, he's been using it in this. Seems to be the car of choice for him when it comes to public packs. Oh, it's just so unfortunate there for Damian. I think that is going to make this battle obvious. Left for Darius, right for Damian. Battle of the Ds. Who's going to the final? And it is Darius Ostrega taking the spot in the final. But Damian is going to be able to have a shot at third. He still has the chance to get third place, a podium spot in the battle for third, which is just coming up now as we get the drivers up to the line between Matiss and Damian. And I've just seen in the chat, don't try to run away from chase driver, you will make mistakes, and that is very true. And there goes Darius Ostrega as Damian gives him a couple of flashes of approval. As now we have Damian chasing in Matiss for third. This is your first spot for the podium. Here we go. Matiss doing a nice big flick into outside zone 1. Damian kind of not as close as he could be, as he has been, but does a nice transition into the inner clip now. But look at the pressure he's putting on to Matiss now. Doing a very nice job. Matiss, oh, just kind of struggling to get the angle there from in the chase. But they managed to keep it going. As Matiss does a lovely lead line, just a bit shallow on that outer clip there compared to what he has been doing. But look at the dive from Damian here. He wants to put the pressure on as they come across the line. A very nice job there to bring it back. Matiss has got to put some pressure on. I do know Damian could have pushed a bit closer there on the outside zone 1, but he does a nice little transition here coming into the inner clip. It's just here, kind of loses a bit of ground, but then tries to gain it by shallowing out the angle. And right here, just a bit sketchy between the two of them. There was a bit of wobbling and wavering. They managed to come across the line unscathed. And now we have Damian leading in Matiss, as Matiss isn't seeming to get much of a run up. Damian is going to fire that Evo 10 in the kin delivery down the straight. Look at that into outside zone 1, doing a nice job. Matiss right there with him as they do a lovely transition there from Matiss, putting the pressure onto Damian as they come across. Oh, but what happened there from Matiss? He is out of the game. He has shut down his run. What happened there as Damian goes to finish off his run? That is very unfortunate. I'm not too sure what happened. Looks like something almost disconnected. The car's just completely shut down. And Damian, and I've just had a message from my lovely manager, Edgar's, as just mentioned, it is going to be a rerun there. I'm guessing it was a false start. I thought that was a... I had my heart went in through my chest then. God, they're keeping me on edge. As Damian gives a couple of flashes to Matiss, thanking him to let him through. Damian seems to be a very courteous driver in the grid. As we have the lights go green once again, they are going to rerun that. As we have them fire down the straight once again. Here we go, initiating into outside zone 1. Matiss kind of falling a bit behind there, but as they transition now, doing a very nice transition once again. Going through, he is a bit further back than what he could be. This is not really the Matiss we've been seeing throughout the day, and he seems to be just getting a bit worn out, a bit tired. But he does a nice job of bringing back the proximity. Look at the transition there from Matiss though. He really puts on the pressure here, and he goes for the dive onto the wall. So Matiss on the pressure onto Damian. What is going on here? Right across the wall and across the line. Beautiful job there from both of these drivers. Wow. And this is your battle for third. Amazing work there. What a battle. Really good lead there. Was that only the first half? Or was that the... I'm pretty sure they did another run, didn't they? I'm a bit confused. Why have they gone back up there? Yeah, so they did already do a run. I wonder why they got... Oh, it must have been because they did a rerun and they thought, I think we need to go and rerun both. So now we are going to be getting a review of Matiss's lead. Was a bit shallow there, going into outer 6, 7. I think they are just a bit confused. I think because they've done a rerun, they must be thinking that we need to go back up to line to send another run. But it's left for Matiss, right for Damian, who is getting third place at the last round of DKRTR 2024. And it is going to Matiss. So Matiss is taking third place at the final round at Bike Circuit on the long wall layout. Unfortunately, Damian just not being able to do quite enough to get through there, which is very unfortunate, but you did a very good drive. So a massive well done to Damian there in that Kinder liveried Evo 10. An amazing, amazing drive. As now we have we are at the final. We are here. It is Darius Ostraka versus Kevin Schwartz, the German against the Lithuanian in the UK. What can Darius Ostraka do? Can he take the top spot and the series? We'll have to see as Kevin gets a nice little lead up there to the chase as they go around outside zone 1, doing a very nice smooth chase there so far, but losing a bit of ground going through to outer 2. Come around, transitioning into outer 5 now. Kind of could be a bit closer, but ooh, going for almost the early transition there. As Darius is doing a very textbook lead line. Look at that on outer 7, just back bumper to the wall. Doing a very nice job between the two of these, but Kevin is struggling in the chase there. And this is the battle for third. This is the place for first. So you've got to be on your A game as we go to the replay. Just was really nice in outer 1 and then just struggled to get the transition into outer 2 and dive. Just needed to transition a tiny bit earlier. And then there, just I thought it was going to take Darius out. It was a very scary moment. But as they come into outer 8, Kevin just did some dives, but he was very shallow on the angle and the proximity to the wall as well. So we'll have to see what Darius does with this. As you can see, Darius just being right up in the back. to get that run up as the lights go green. Here we go. Kevin Schwarz now leading in Darius Stricker. This is your final run of the Drift King of RTRiga 2024 season. I could almost choke on there then, but Darius Stricker right there. But look at him just dragging the front bumper across the rear bumper of Kevin Schwarz, right on the back bumper. Here we go, transitioning into outside zone 5, getting really aggressive now. He just wants to put on a show to prove he can take the top spot, making contact with the wall there as he comes around into outer 7, doing a very nice job there. Darius coming around. Will he make the dive in outside zone 8? Yes, he will. He's slowly reeling him in. Come across the line. Whoa. Oh, what a final. Darius really wanted the aggression there. Like, look at that. He was hungry. Very hungry. But look at the transition. It starts doing an early transition, but does slightly straighten out there in the transition. That is interesting. So we'll have to see what the judges think about that. I'm not sure what's exactly happening, but it was a very aggressive run from Darius. Kevin doing the best he can in the lead. Very, very good last battle. So who will be taking the top spot of the final round of DKRTR? Will Darius Stricker not only take the series, but also the final round, which would secure him a massive points gap, ensuring that, well, at this point it doesn't matter. He's already won the series. But can he finish it off with a golden weekend and win the series and the final round? That is the question. As we have another look at Kevin Schwarz's chase. It's a very nice initiation between the two of them. Just losing his ground there. But manages to keep with him. Very snappy transition between the two of them there, though. It is very interesting. Very, very interesting. And the judges are going to be looking at this carefully, as this is the battle for first place and second place. This is deciding your winner of this round, the final round. And I know both of these drivers are going to be sat there holding their breath. As Darius, even though he won the championship, he wants to get the win at the final round just to complete it. And I think they are going to be looking at this transition here. Are they going to be saying it's completely straight, or are they going to say still in drift, just a delayed transition? Very interesting. And they're also going to think, is there contact made in that transition that pushes Kevin into the wall? Now he's pulling away with a little flick at the end. We do have some predictions in the comments. And who is going to be your winner of the DKRTR 2024 final round? Is it going to be left for Kevin, right for Darius? And is Darius Stricker taking the win and having a perfect weekend? Besides qualifying, he didn't take top spot in qualifying, I don't think. But he has won the final round of DKRTR 2024 and has taken your top spot in the entire championship. He has won it all. So massive congratulations to Darius Stricker taking first place and Kevin Schwarz taking second place at the final round. What a weekend. Thank you so much to everyone who has been here to watch this for the last round and who have been there throughout the entire season. It has been something. It has been a story to tell, that is for sure. Kevin Schwarz coming in big for the last round. Almost taking down the big titan himself, Darius Stricker, but Darius is your season winner. And I think we will be showing off the season standings for first, second and third towards the end, as we get our drivers lined up to get the photos on the podiums, as they're all going crazy in the background there. But what a round. The battles have been pretty crazy, to be fair. And as you can see behind us, behind this overlay, we have got our drivers getting ready to go onto the podiums. I'm actually quite intrigued on how they do this. And we're just getting our camera ready to show off our top 4 of this round. And there you have it, our podium for today and the last round of DKRTR 2024. At the final round, we have Matiss at 3rd place. We have Kevin Schwartz in 2nd. And Darius Ostraker not only taking top spot in today, but also for the whole season. What a drive for all of these drivers. As you can see, there was Damian to the side taking 4th place as well. But a massive congratulations to all of these drivers for doing the absolute utmost best performance they could have. And wow, it's been crazy. Have we got any words from our series owner? Oh, well, there's Drift Chat in the, in the semaphore, having a bit of fun doing some donuts. I think that deserves some attention, to be honest. Beautiful stuff, as all the team has a little bit of fun to finish off the round. We finished off with the semaphore doing donuts. Look at that. What a sight. A big shout out to Drift Chat. And there is Damian as well in the Evo 10. And the semaphore's going crazy. What is going on here? Being an absolute menace. But thank you to all of the sponsors who have been involved in making this happen. As you can see, all over the track, all over the overlay, they are what helps make us do what we do. As well as all of you who have watched the series throughout the entire season. Thank you so much for supporting us. And a big thank you to Racing Team Riga for putting on this competition, putting the work in behind the scenes to be able to make this happen. And I do want to see Edgar's Lasamanis come onto the microphone, as he is series owner and team owner. So I would like to see what he thinks. Have his last words for the final round as we finish off this amazing season. And also a massive thank you to the judges as well. They have been absolutely incredible. And I think we do have Edgar coming up.
And I am here. All what I want to say is it's been a pleasure. To be big part of this second season of DKRTR. I want to say huge thank you to everyone. For some reason, I can hear myself. For him. Huge thank you to all the team that was behind us. Wait, I'm gonna try to mute head judge. Okay, because head judge is next to me, and he joined the voice chat as well, and I heard my own voice. I just want to say huge thank you to all that team that was behind this season. And this season was a blast. We had some ups and downs. In general, it was really good season. We even had one cheater driver. That was a really huge turn in all competition as well. I want to say as well. I had a speech ready for this. Okay, I'm gonna get ready. I wasn't ready to join it. I want to say huge thank you to all the supporters and everyone who made this competition as official as they can be. Special thanks goes to Latvian Drift and Latvian Automobile Federation for making it all possible. And of course, our sponsors, Go Expert, Digital Racing Systems, Slapjā Ragana, Reinis Ozoliņš, Drifta Halle, User Gaming Bar, and Hyperworld. They was all sponsors. They give all the prizes to all drivers. And this year, prize pool was really huge and juicy. Just to see, even on the world stage. through this season, we gained new friends, invaluable experience, and countless memories. Yeah, this was mess. This was mess.
It was an incredible.
It was a bit of mess, but no one's watching anyways.
It's been incredible, absolutely incredible. You've done an amazing job, and thank you for bringing me to be a part of this journey. It's been an absolute pleasure, and now we've got the next season of SVDS for you and me to go at each other with. It's gonna be a pretty fun one.
Yeah, hi guys. I want to give my cookie as well. Thanks for the drivers. The level this year have really stepped up since we open up this as a worldwide championship, and we saw that it really improved both international stage and also Latvian drivers got much better. And thank you, Brendan. You were an excellent commentator on almost all of the rounds. But I think you gave excellent energy to the viewers and to the drivers, and made this competition at the next level. And of course, thanks Edgars and thanks the rest of the team for putting the effort in and doing this thing. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's been an honor. It's unfortunate I couldn't make it for one of the rounds, but
It was quite a silent round.
it's I'm a bit upset that the people that I was hoping would be able to cover for me didn't cover for me, but that's just how it is, unfortunately. But hey, next season we're going to come back bigger and better, and it's going to be good. It's going to be really good, and I'm super proud of you, Edgar. You've absolutely smashed it.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate.
So
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but we made it.
exactly, technical difficulties, driver difficulties, and loads of other things, but we made it. We're here. We're at the final. We've got our top 3. What a
year.
finish.
What a year.
Yep,
What
it's
a
been
year.
amazing. But
I really hope to see you all next year if everything can go well as planned.
exactly,
It's gonna be bigger and huger.
best thing to do is please go follow Racing Team Riga and the whole team on Instagram, TikTok, all of the platforms that we have, and keep an eye out, especially in the Discord, especially for any updates about any potential further seasons. And I think on that note, Edgar, I think it's time to bid farewell to the viewers and wrap this up.
Let's wrap this up.
Right, well, thank you to everyone who's been here, and DKRTR24 is a wrap. And thank you so much for coming around, and we will see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.